Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Getting my lights fixed. I thought I had that done, and of course, just about the time you hit go live, there was always that one thing. I am Abe with Mystic Gen Mara, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, shut my phone off because one more thing I forgot. Tonight we're going to do the yearly outlook for the elemental energies of air, which covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And the type of reading that I do is kind of an outlook. You can use it as a journal guide, so the energy that comes up in the reading you can use to journal for that month. It could be a something that you want to work on for that month, like a lesson or a challenge. And it could be a little bit of foreshadowing as well. When you read for groups, things are a little bit more generic and general, so just be aware of that. And then there's also a disclaimer in the description of the video. Also, the decks that I'm using are linked in the description, and I am purposely using two decks by the same author, who is Radley Valentine. I'm using the Angel Tarot and the Fairy Tarot, because I have found that these two decks work really well together. And when I do these longer readings, like for a year basically, I like to switch back and forth, and how I switch back and forth is exclusively up to whichever deck I grab. I allow my guides to kind of work with me on that one, so it's not going to be 1 month one thing switching to the other. It could be 2 or 3 months the same, just depends. So if you have any questions or comments as we bounce along here, okay, you can just drop them in the comments section, or in the chat, whatever it is. And if this is you're watching it on a replay, you can leave the comments there, and I will check on those as soon as I see them. So, with that being said, I read intuitively, so the cards that pop up are going to be the cards that are meant for that time. And right now we are starting off the year with the Angel Tarot, and it is for January for the air signs. And it's normally going to be one card, but every so often they'll pop up 2 or 3, so we'll see how this goes tonight. Your first card is the Three of Earth. So this is your opposite energy, air signs. The Three of Earth is Earth is opposite of air. So this could be a little bit of a challenge right off the bat. It's the power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, and being a team player. So what this is saying is the air quality tends to be a bit more projective and a bit more, they want to step up front, but they don't want to be fully in the front. And so this is where your more balancing energy can come into play. So you're working with a team this first part of the year, which is January. And this energy of creativity is really, they're emphasizing that. So this first part of the year, it's a time to maybe take it out of the intellectual and tie it to your emotions a little bit, so you can take the analytical brain, the one that wants to have everything cut and dried in math numbers, and toss in a little bit of color with that, and kind of work on planning out what you want out of the year. They're talking the creativity that you're working with in January is actually going to work throughout this next year of 2023. So kind of tap into that and play with it a little bit. And they're saying make it fun. Don't go too strict with this, because life is going to bring up stuff that may shift your plans, just how it works. But they're really being focusing on the creativity part of that. So let's go to February with the Fairy Tarot here and see what, we got 2 cards coming up for that one. And we've got the Two of Winter. Indecision is holding you back. Make choices that are best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between intellectual and emotional. But you also have the Ace of Winter, so this is a new beginning. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately new ideas that should be implemented. So you've got a lot of this heavier winter energy coming in during this time. And in January, they were saying bring in your intellect into your emotions and use that to kind of create your next year. And then you have the Two of Winter is kind of a heads up card. It's not so much a it can be a warning card as well, but it's more of a heads up. And it's that feeling trapped, where you know you intellectually have to do this, but you're feeling this, and you're stuck in the middle going, who do I follow? And that's where the Ace of Winter comes in. And this is, don't be afraid to talk to other people. If you're having that struggle between your heart and your head, which we all do at various points in our lives, so basically don't feel like you're the only one, because we've all been there. And that's when you can reach out to your friends, and that's going to help open up some new avenues for ideas and some new engines of creation, and some other ideas that are going to work through in positive ways. But they're really saying don't be afraid to reach out to others during February, because January is going to be really creative, and then February it's going to be this stop-start of head, heart, head, heart, head, heart, and it could cause a little overwhelm. So just be aware that you have friends that are out there, and they're more than willing to help you, physical friends as well as the spiritual friends. And for March, we're going to keep up with the fairies. And as we go along, I'll probably tie things back and forth, just that's how I work. So we're still in the winter month cards with March here. And it is the Princess of Winter, inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. Well, that should be fun. Information that can help you, but may be difficult to hear, speaking truth with kindness, and an indigo child or adult. So this is really about being harshly, brutally honest, and it may be someone's being that way with you. So that's where you get into that could be a little bit hard to take, that hard pill to swallow sometimes. Being in the air intellect world, you tend to want to make things a little bit more perfected. It's just how it is. There's a little bit of a trigger of an OCD where everything has to be in its logical place. Like you don't have the painting supplies in with the baking supplies, unless you're a cake decorator, and then that's just where they go. But things like that are just, you have this set plan in how you do things, and this card is saying be okay with someone coming in being like, that doesn't make any sense, and you may have to explain yourself. And this also ties into your employment. So during this month of March, they're really wanting to drive home the point. Stay in the logical mind, but be open to other people's ideas and possible criticism, because they're not doing it to be spiteful, they're actually trying to be helpful. So just some ideas to work with in March. So we'll hop back to the angels for April. So the first quarter of the year, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of an up and down period, especially between the head and the heart. So starting off the year could be a little exciting. So for April, sorry, I had to see what month I was on. We have two cards came out. You have the Ten of Fire, too much work, accepting help from others, life out of balance, and stress-related concerns. But you also have the Major Arcana card. Major Arcanas are life lessons. These are big life, could be changing, could be enhancing, could just be where you're, what phase of life you're at. But these are big things that come in. And you have number 18, which is the Moon card with Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, releasing fears that are holding you back. The moon works with an aspect of the divine feminine. So you've got this a little bit of the watery moon, the more feminine moon, but you also have the Ten of Fire, which is a masculine energy coming in to bring balance. And where the first part of the year, it's been a lot of head and heart, and you're kind of, working through some things. This is saying you have processed a lot, and now it's time to step into your full power. But you're doing it in a gentle way. That's where you come in with this push-pull of the masculine and feminine. The Ten of Fire is saying you've done a lot of work. Take a deep breath and basically congratulate yourself. But the moon's coming forward with Archangel Haniel saying, you've done all of that. Don't forget you've had other people along the way and they've helped you. And don't become arrogant with look at how great I've done this year. You've done a lot. They're being clear with that. But don't let the ego get involved. Take the compliments with gratitude and grace, but don't get a swollen head. But to work with Archangel Haniel in the month of April is really about finding that balance and working with the lessons of the moon, which is more of your intuitive side, and tapping into that emotional energy, which is not something that as air signs you're probably going to be too comfortable with, because air likes to be in the mind, in the logical, in the analytical, and intuitive psychic abilities tend to flow more into the more watery emotional states. So just be aware that there's going to be a little bit of a push and pull flow there, but it's because you've done a lot and you've basically woke up some of these other abilities. So we're going to stay with the angels for May and see what we got going on here with the month of May. And if you are hopping in and you're interested and you're liking what you're seeing, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the video, that's really helpful. If you enjoy this type of content, which I have over 100 videos now, so I'm kind of happy about that, you can go ahead and subscribe, and like I said, comment away as you feel led with the videos. So we are into May here. Yeah. It is the Three of Water. We're still in the Angel Tarot. A celebration, a wedding, graduation, birth, or announcement, the need to have more fun. So May also holds the Sabbath of Beltane, which is a fertility celebration of the flowers are blooming, the animals are birthing, you have all this new life entering the world, and so it's just this really vibrant point in the world. Also, it's a fertility rite, so just as a heads up there, just think ahead, plan ahead too. But you have the Three of Water, so it's this emotional state that's coming forward, but it's a happy emotional state. You've worked through some things with the winter cards, the first quarter, and then you had this little bit of a challenging period in April where it was, you've done a lot of work, congratulate yourself, but you also have this intuitive impressions and urges that are coming forward. So it's that you still have a little bit of that push-pull. But in May, it's saying cut loose and have fun. You've done a lot of work so far this year, and the Three of Water is bringing in that happy period. It could be the end of a school year, depending on where you're at, and it could be the last of a school year. It could be graduating high school, it could be graduating college, getting your degrees, it could be a spring wedding, which are always amazing. But it's this time of celebration, rebirth, and ending one cycle to begin something new with that positive, joyous outlook towards it. So be aware of what is happy and tap into that energy in May. Really focus on making it your month, making it your happy time, air signs. So let's see what that leads us into for June. And in June, we have the Princess of Spring. And June carries the holiday of the summer solstice. I always forget that one for some reason. And it's June 21st. So that's the high point of the year for the sun. It's the emphasis on the divine masculine at that point. So this month of June is a very powerful month for growth and vibrancy, basically. So you have the Princess of Spring, optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic. It's time to go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizons, let your creativity fly. So you have this really, really powerful solar event occurring in June, and the Princess of Spring is saying tap into that. You have all of this creative push, you've got all this divine masculine God energy coming in during that around the 21st of the month, and it's really about tapping into that. The month of June is, they're saying, is really about being outdoors, being in the sunlight, and creating. It doesn't matter what you're creating. It could be paintings, it could be clay, it could be creating a new project at work, but really tap into that creation energy that's coming through in that month of June, because the Princess of Spring is all about enthusiasm and energy. So work with that energy and really tap into making that your focus in June, of just enjoying life. You've had a really fun time in May. Carry the energy forward and tap it into your creativity. So let's look at July with the angels. Get my deck here to shuffle. And July does not have any major holidays, but it does have, full moons and stuff. So keep an eye open for those, because I'm going to try to start doing some new moon or full moon stuff on the channel as well. So for July, yeah, we are the 9 of water, wishes coming true, concerns fade away, and a love of life. So your summer is looking very vibrant, air signs, because you had the 3 of water in June saying May, sorry. And it was saying tap into that enjoyment. There's celebrations going on, that really high energy. And then in June, you had the Princess of Spring saying, we're energetic, we're enthusiastic, let's create something new. But now you have the 9 of water, which is coming to the end of an emotional cycle. But it's also saying, this is the time for manifestation. This is where any of the worries that you've been kind of, lingering from the first part of the year, let them go. Work rituals to do releasing, journal it, and do the write your letter and burn it type of a thing. But get that extra energy, the non-beneficial energy, out of the way. Allow the lessons to remain, because that's how we grow. But you don't need to carry the emotional baggage that goes with the lesson, and that's kind of the effort or the energy that's coming forward here. And it's really about tapping into that love of life. It's July. Go camping. Have fun with the family. Go, backyard barbecuing. Do something that, even if it's on the weekends, that really reminds you how much fun life can be, and tap into that energy. So let's go into August with the fairies. And the 1st of August, has the celebration of Lammas, which is the first harvest. So just some energy to be aware of. There will be a little bit of a harvest period at the first of the month. And you're tapping into that with the 2 of autumn. Bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, an exceptional talent for multitasking. So August is going to be a busy month, is what they're saying. That's, like I said, it's the first harvest. You have Lammas right there, but they're also saying that with everything you've got going on, you've got a lot of basically irons in the fire, and you're loving every minute of it. It's giving you that mental challenge, that mental period of like, yeah, I've got this. You're multitasking. You got home, you got family, you got work, you got friend stuff going on. You're just busy, and you're loving every minute of it, because you're in your strength. With this being a multitasker and managing, that's kind of an air thing. They like to be logical and have everything organized. So you're really working with that energy here in August, and they're showing, like I said, a lot of barbecues, a lot of friend stuff, but you also have family events during that month. Your work's just going to be work, but you're going to be enjoying it a little bit more, because you're having such a full non-work life. And that's what they're wanting to say, is just keep doing what you're doing. The energy is great. It's in your favor. And as long as you're enjoying it, keep pushing forward. So let's look at September. Sorry, I had to do them in my head tonight. With the angels for the air signs. And September is the 9 of your sign. It's 9 of air. It is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Well, that's exciting. And in September, you also have the second harvest Mabon, which is on the 21st of September. It is the autumn equinox. And the second harvest is moving into a deeper portion. The world's kind of quieting down. You're still going, but it's this quieting down period. It's throwing you off a little bit, is what they're saying with this 9 of air. It's expecting the worst and self-fulfilling prophecies. That's not what's coming up. It's the fact that you've been busy and going, and you've had this really supercharged energy going on. But in September, it's starting to quiet down. The energy's just a little bit draining down, and it's giving you that feeling of, I have free time, what am I forgetting? And that's what they're saying, is it's not a bad thing. It's the expectation of having more to do, but suddenly not having it. And that's when you start getting into those sleepless nights, like, what did I forget? I know I did I'm missing something. And what they're saying is, in September, it's a period of quieting down. So allow yourself those deeper breaths. It's okay to not be running at 90 miles an hour the whole day. And this is just kind of a transition period. So you've been running and gunning and going and just having a ball. And now it's time to, take a second, recheck, allow your body to recover, let your mind recover, because you've had a really busy summer is what I'm seeing here so far. So that's just the way September is going to be. Just be heads up for a little bit of a drain in energy, but it's to remind you to take a break, take a deep breath. So let's use the fairies and see what we've got going on here for October. And October has Samhain, the third and final of the harvests. It's basically the end of the harvesting cycle, so now we're going into a period of rest after October. But during October, we have with the fairies number 15 of the major arcana, and it is the ego card, the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items and getting caught up in fear and worry. So the end of your year, as you're slowing down, it's going to be a little bit frustrating in a way for you, because you're used to being busy this year. It has a lot of energy build up in it, and you're just kind of going full bore. But September was about taking that deep breath, and don't be worried that you have free time, because that's acceptable. And in October, you've got the ego, where the ego is going to flare up and kind of be like, well, we're going to do this way, and we're going to fill the calendar with as much things as we can do. This card is saying, pump the brakes, do some fun stuff. It's October. There are harvest parties. There are straw mazes. There are pumpkin patches. There's Halloween parties. Go and do, but be okay with not as well. They're saying the material world that has been kind of an obsession for most of the summer, because you've been busy going and doing, needs to take a little bit more of a back seat. Tap more into the spiritual side of life, which allows the ego to take its break as well and go settle down and play with its blocks quietly in the corner. And you're able to reconnect with your spiritual side. So the September and October are really about that, taking that deep breath, slowing down, and reconnecting with spirit. So let's look at November with the We'll do November with the fairies as well, and then we'll end on the angels. So, and like I said, if you have any thoughts or comments, go ahead and drop those. And like I said, I'll even take criticism as long as it's respectful, because I think we can all use a little bit more respect in the world, right? So November, we have the 8 of Summer, the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing it's time to move on, choosing to make life changes. So after the chaos of the summer and the busyness, which you were just enjoying to no end, and then you have the quieter months of September and October, where it's like, bring her down a little bit, reconnect with your spirit, reconnect with God, source, divine energy. This is after you've done that, now it's time to reevaluate, is what they're saying. The 8 of Summer's energy is about looking around. What isn't working anymore? What is it that maybe needs a little bit more effort put into it? Like the families, because holiday season, everyone bickers. Is there a way to maybe work with that energy and kind of heal up some of that stuff? Is there some friendship issues that are just, they're not the greatest right now? And what this card is saying is there ways you can fix that? Is there something that needs to be let go of? Because there's, friendships run their courses. We've all had friends that we've thought we'd never lose them, and then one day we haven't talked to them in 3 years, There's that kind of energy going on in November. It's really about what is not fulfilling your soul's purpose anymore, and working towards that energy. It's not like you're not cutting them out because you don't like them, you've just grown apart. And they're saying that with this in particular, it's that realization that maybe it's time for some shifting of goalposts, maybe it's time to look on a different path. It's not an end, but the opportunity for a new beginning. But it's after those quiet months, you're able to see a little bit more clearly. So November is about, once you've gotten some of that stuff cleared out, what needs to change in life? What needs to be improved upon? What needs to be maybe let go of? But November is really about tapping into that. So let's look at, where are we at? December. Same month we're in right now. And see what the cards have to say for December. It is not wanting to give me 1 or 2, it's trying to give me half the deck. So we'll just keep shuffling. There we go. And for December, we have the Major Arcana card of Unity with Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seeking out mentors and like-minded friends. So after you've done the quieting time of September and October, and you've kind of went through and looked at things that worked and didn't work in November, maybe reevaluated some parts of your life, now it's time to integrate things back in. The stuff that you've kept from November, work on rebuilding those friendships, building up that support system. Archangel Sandalphon was actually one of the prophets, and my brain just completely let go of which one it was. But he was, when he went to heaven, he actually became an angel, and the angel Sandalphon is here to support. If you work with the Kabbalah, it's the Malkuth angel, and in a lot of modern circles, they'll use Metatron Sandalphon as a support for your energy and abilities, because Sandalphon wants to help us with our day-to-day. A lot of people are focused with Metatron because he's the angel of ascension and he loves humans. Sandalphon is his brother, and he wants to help you in the daily world as well, and integrating your spiritual life into your day-to-day. Metatron is really about, the ascension protocol, the ascension practices, helping you elevate yourself spiritually into these higher frequencies, which is great energy. But December for you air signs is about connecting on the earth plane, working with your spiritual teams on earth, working with your spiritual communities, and they're really emphasizing the strength of family in December. So throughout the year, it's been kind of busy. You had a little bit of a quiet point here in the fall with September and October, and November just kind of being quiet resetting times. But now you have Archangel Sandalphon and the Unity card coming in December saying, take the people who have remained, take those people that you care the most about, your inner circle if you're single, or your family and the inner circle of your family, and really reconnect with them on a deeper level. Connect with them on a spiritual level if that's how that works for you, but do things that are more about the family in the month of December. So hopefully this reading, sorry, I was checking in. Hopefully this reading resonates for you guys, gives you a little heads up or some ideas of things to work with in the coming year. I appreciate you guys checking this out, and I will be doing either a live stream or a video for Friday. I haven't decided yet, and then also again on Saturday, which will be the end of the month and the end of doing the dailies, and then I'll find a schedule that works and do 2 or 3 days a week after that. Just because I do actually enjoy this. It's just been a lot this month. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and let me make sure. Okie dokie. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and the next card reading that I will be doing is the water sign. It's the end of the 4 elements. So if you're interested in that, or you are a water sign, you can check in on that one probably tomorrow. So I will let you guys go. Have a great evening, and we'll see you later.